Honourable Member for Riding Mountain.
Madam Speaker, today I rise to recognize all community newspaper publishers in the province as we mark Community Newspaper Day in Manitoba on April 17th. This special day came about as a result of the unanimous all-party passage of a private member's resolution moved by MLA Mavis Tailleau in 2005. Now, as many in this House know, Mavis was the publisher of the Headingley Headliner prior to being elected as a member of this legislature. She knew full well the contribution that community newspapers make in the everyday life of Manitobans. As a community newspaper publisher myself for 40 years, I recognized early on in my career that even though I owned the newspapers, they really belonged to the communities they served. Community newspapers carry news that matters. Unlike their big city cousins, they are not filled with news from across Canada or around the world, but instead offer news and features with a local perspective, as well as advertising from area businesses, municipalities, and government. Community newspapers tend to publish informative and uplifting stories and don't intentionally go looking for negativity. Perhaps that's why, Madam Speaker, they are such a valued source for news and advertising and have consistently high readership. Throughout history, newspapers have been relied upon to provide trusted and important information in times of crisis. During this pandemic, the need for vital information to be communicated uniformly and without prejudice is greater now than it ever has been. Community newspapers are on the front lines, keeping citizens of their communities updated on the latest developments directly affecting their lives. But there are storm clouds, Madam Speaker. The steady erosion of advertising dollars that pay the bills is a major concern to publishers. Online giants like Google and Facebook, who incidentally do not support anything local, use content generated by hardworking journalists without any compensation to the news outlets. Then to top it off, they use this contact to attract online advertisers. Madam Speaker, community newspapers have been asking the federal government to stand up to these web giants and pass legislation to ensure they reimburse newspapers for the content they use. In closing, I want to tip my hat to the employees of the 37 community newspapers.
The member's time has expired. Is there leave to allow the member to conclude his statement? Leave has been granted. The Honourable Member for Riding Mountain.
In closing, I want to tip my hat to the employees of the 37 community newspapers across Manitoba as they continue to play a vital role in documenting the history of our communities. Madam Speaker, I would like to request leave to add the names of all 37 community newspapers and their publishers to Hansard.
Is there leave to allow those names into Hansard?
Agreed.
Agreed and so ordered.